Hey everybody, this is Johnny Van Zandt from Leonard Skinner, and you're watching
Possum Politics with Ed Carnevale
on American Hearts Radio. Web TV.
I'll keep my freedom, I'll keep my guns, try to keep my money and my religion too. I'll keep my freedom, I'll keep my guns, try to keep my money and my religion too. Try to keep on working, try to keep on smiling. I will keep my Christian name and y'all can keep the change.
It's the Possum Politics Show with our host, Ed Carnevale. Take it away, Ed.
Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Possum Politics. Today on my show, I have a special guest, Santa Bob.
Hi there.
Hello to Santa Bob. I think you might have seen him on his show, on Santa Bob's show. What do they call your show?
Keeping the Spirit with Santa Bob.
Keeping the Spirit with Santa Bob. Now, why don't you tell the folks out there a little bit about what your Christmas spirit is all about and what you do. What's your...
What I'm trying to do is, I think we need to keep the spirit of Christmas alive year-round. We have it for about 30 days. Everybody's real friendly. Everybody's happy. Everybody's feeling good about themselves or other people. They're willing to do things they don't normally do. I think we need to keep that spirit around year-round so that maybe we can change the whole world if we keep get enough people to change. And I think it's a good feeling we need.
Yeah, we do. A lot of people today seem like they're just not, they're just not happy. Like, I was driving on the road and people get like right on your bumper, and they just look like the speed law says 55, I'm doing 60, they want to do 70. I don't understand the patience of people. It seems like they don't have any anymore.
They don't have any patience. Our world is such a rush any longer anymore. It seems like everything we do is always at a fast pace. You rush to get to work, you rush to get home, you rush to the store, you rush home. Well, you don't rush in rush hour because you're stopped. But everybody's in a hurry. Nobody wants to take the time to, for lack of a better term, stop and smell the roses.
And if that Christmas thing, you're talking about how you can get that feeling at Christmas, that's what you're trying to do. And I had a really good idea. I've heard this on another radio show about going through a drive-thru, right? And you order something through the drive-thru. Hopefully this isn't going to be too much, but go up to the service window, you pay for your order, and you tell them you want the bill to the car behind you.
All right.
And you pay their bill. And then they'll be amazed when they go up there.
That's true, except how do you know what they're going to order, and how do you know how much they pay?
They get their receipt.
Well, yeah, I mean, I
You're paying
understand,
for the other car behind you too.
but you're going to pay the car behind you, but you don't know what they're ordering yet.
No.
So how much do you leave?
What do you mean?
I mean, do you leave a credit card to pay for their meal, or do you take, because you don't know how much they're going to order for exactly.
No, you don't really know.
So how do you know how much to pay? That's the only problem that I see. Yeah, it's a good idea. It's a great gesture.
You just tell them, you want the bill for the car behind you. What is the amount on the bill, the car behind you? You want to pay their bill. You can always pay somebody else's bill. And
that's true. I see a way to do that. Because if you're in a two-window stop, you pay at one window and you go up the next window. By the time you get up to the next window,
right,
they should have.
And they're totally blown away. Like,
oh yeah,
who was
I think
that?
It's great.
And then
I've seen people do that in the grocery store.
And for you, could we say, tell them that Santa Claus paid it?
Yeah. I get a lot of people looking at strange at me, even without my Santa hat and stuff, and I walk down the street with my beard and my hair. And little kids look at me like, what are you doing? You look like him, but you don't have that red suit on, but boy, they stare. I think it's a great feeling. It's the best time of year. I have the best job in the world being Santa. And I'd like to keep that going year round, and I want to keep more people involved in it, because it is a great feeling. And the more we have, the better the world's going to be. I do believe.
Yeah. Yeah. With all the inflation and everything, and people burdened with taxes, and it's just a hard economy nowadays. I think that money's tight, and when money's tight, it causes tension.
Exactly.
And
so if we just relax a little bit, and I don't say you have to go out and buy gifts every, but you get that feeling. Do something nice for someone. Give them a compliment. Tell them you love them. Smile. Anything to make them feel better. I used to work for a company, and I told my boss one day, I'm here to help you do whatever it is you need done to make you feel better. What can I do? Well, that's what I think I could do with some of the people. Just, what can I do to make your life better today?
Right, and maybe in return, when you made that person's life better, it'll make somebody else's better. It's a domino effect.
Absolutely.
So
Because they're going to do the same thing.
it's not just you going out there playing Santa Claus thinking you're going to cure the world, because I don't think it's going to happen.
No,
But
not at all.
you can spark it like a domino. And hopefully the rest of the dominoes will start to fall.
It's all got to start somewhere.
Right.
We need to start somewhere. This, I think, is a good spot for us to start. Is getting that feeling out there so that people know they're loved.
But now not everybody believes in Christmas now. Some people hate Christmas.
This is
What
true.
about
The atheists, well, I can't do anything about them, but all I can do is I can make them feel better by smiling, shaking their hand.
somebody
Whatever.
put a cult type of a statue because they were offended by the the manger scene that somebody put out there, and they didn't like the manger scene, so they went out and they put a cult scene with evil demons and stuff on it, and some lady was so offended by that she went there and destroyed it and wound up having to pay vandalism charges for destroying that thing. I mean, this has gotten crazy now.
Yeah, that's a strange thing to have happen, and unfortunately things do that we have some, for lack of a better term, we have some fanatics out there that really go to the extreme. You can dislike something, but you can voice your opinion without trying to destroy it. You can even just cover it up if it offended you that much.
And what do you think of this holiday tree? Who's coming up with this holiday? It's not a holiday tree. It's a Christmas tree.
Yeah, they're trying to be politically correct because of all the people who, like you say, who don't like Christmas, or they don't like the idea of putting the Christmas spirit on the particular holiday. Maybe they're celebrating something like Hanukkah, or they're doing the Three Kings celebration versus Christmas. But my idea is that you got that feeling. That's what I want. Is the feeling to come out.
I feel like the Jewish religion is kind of just packaged different. I think it's the same concept. It's just packaged different.
I believe so, and I believe that over the years that the religion has changed to suit man's thinking, not what God was thinking, but how they interpreted the Bible, and that's how they interpret it. It's how things should be. I don't know how to get back to that original spot, what Jesus said, that so that everyone knows, other than go out and tell them. But they're interpreting it wrong.
But you know what? Some people probably think that we're nuts because we talk about the Bible, we talk about Jesus, and we talk about religion, and they probably just don't believe a lick of it. And
Right.
How can we convince these people that this is true? That religion really does exist and spirituality, and that there is good over evil. There is a heaven above. There is good in the world.
The only thing I know is to show them that there is good. We can do it by extending a friendly hand, showing a smile, doing what you can for your fellow man.
You know, I see bad things in the world. Like, I'm not saying that, the way I would tell somebody. It's like, I see so many bad things happen in the world. Somebody shot their family, they killed you, watching news, it's horrible, okay? To me, that's pure hatred, and in a way, I can't describe it any better than evil, okay? And if evil exists, an old friend of mine told me this, then there's good too. And there's actually, the Lord does exist. Because if there's evil, you gotta have good.
Absolutely.
Where you have bad, you have to have good. That's just the way it's a balance.
It's the balance. They're there. You have evil, you have good.
Right.
You have to have the balance.
But I think some people just walk around and they're just so confused they don't know. It's like
No, they can't wait for the good to show, or it's not coming fast enough for them. And I like, you know, back in the '60s, the black people in the United States had trouble with their getting their rights. They marched in the street. They demanded their rights and got them. And now things have changed greatly in this country.
it's because of old Martin Luther King.
Absolutely, Mr. King he was a phenomenal man. He was a great man.
It was, but I think that the way they interpret him now is just not what he had in mind.
No, not at all. But because of what he was doing is what's resulted in this country, and that's a good thing. It has opened up doors for a lot of things, and things have changed greatly. But we still got more things to do. We're not there yet, and we need to work on that. We need to make sure that things are done the way they should be done, not the way you want to do them, but what's best for everyone concerned. That'll help keep our spirit moving in that same direction. Don't you agree, Ed?
Oh, absolutely. I think that do unto others as others do unto you. And whether it's karma, folks, you go do something good, you pay for that dinner behind you, you go tell your mom you love her and buy her some flowers, and you will see something good that week will happen. It will be good for you. And you'll get something paid back better. You'll see. This what comes around goes around. So don't do bad or you'll get bad. So do good. And we got a good commercial break, folks. I'll be right back with you. This is Possum Politics. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
Hey everybody, this is Johnny Van Zandt from Leonard Skinner. My cousin Jimmy Van Zandt's in a tight spot. He needs a liver transplant. So we're asking for anybody who has a nickel, a dime, a penny, whatever the heck you want, that's appreciated, to send it to the Jimmy Van Zandt Gift of Life charity at 1808 Clinch Place, Old Hickory, Tennessee, 37138. I'm reading this, by the way. And you can also give to www.JimmyVanZandtGiftOfLifeCharity.com. So anyway, God bless you guys. Hope to see you out on the road. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever it is. God bless you.
Yes, call me. Bad Company. Yes. Check out our new app on American Hearts Radio. Yes, it is really cool, man. You can listen to some rock and roll and some Motown. Yes, it is the Novex app, free on AmericanHeartsRadio.com. It's really easy to use. You go to the website, www.AmericanHeartsRadio, and then you'll see our app. It says for the Android or the iPhone. Just download that for free, and you can listen to all the music on American Hearts Radio. Also, you can watch our web television shows. This is Enos Muhammad Baba, the Redneck Muslim. See you later. Everybody.
Welcome back, folks. Santa Bob's on my show right now. We've been talking about how to make people happy and bring back that Christmas spirit again. And we were talking earlier about, you mentioned a topic about Rick, or Governor Rick Scott here in Florida. I'm just wondering what you felt. You weren't too happy about him? Or
well, I'm not sure about Mr. Scott, because he did a lot of, in his company with Medicare fraud. It just didn't seem right. He got a lot of money through them and pleaded the fifth 75 times in order to not incriminate himself, which in my opinion, it's pretty much said he did. If he's not going to incriminate himself, it just means I'm guilty, but I'm not going to tell you that because you're not going to put me in jail for it. I am not sure how we got him back into the governor's office. I agree that Charlie Crist may not have been the best candidate, but that's our problem there. You either have two choices. You either have the Republican Party or the Democrat Party. And if you don't like the choices, what do?
Well, I guess you're pretty much out of the picture.
See, that's the problem. See, I'll give you an example. I was listening to a talk show once. I was listening to Jesse Ventura. He said he was down in South America checking out the elections. He said, how many candidates do you have? Or he said, well, first he said, what is your turnout expected? He said, 98%. He said, really? Yeah. How many candidates? 30. 30 people are on the ballot. So in a case like that, your vote is actually going to do something. However, if you got two persons, one or the other, and if you don't like those,
right?
What do you do?
Well, my views were a little bit different on Mr. Scott because I've been in Florida for almost 30 years now, and the governors I've seen before Mr. Scott came along, he promised a certain amount of things he did before he became governor that he would get done as governor. And he pretty much came through on his promises to what he said he was going to do. He didn't sell sugar-coated lies. He cut taxes in Florida over 40 times. He's made a surplus, which we never had a surplus I can remember since I lived in this state. So now we got a surplus, which means we got money in the bank. Mr. Criminal Scott, now politics become dirty when somebody's running, especially from the left, and they want that seat, they want that job, they want that paycheck. Okay, especially what's happened right now with all the mainstream media, it's horrible. They pick sides. They're not fair anymore.
Oh, absolutely.
And they'll spin it any way that they want because
to make themselves look good.
Right. And the money goes. It's a vicious cycle.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that you were wrong about Mr. Scott. Maybe something bad did happen. I think the smartest thing, when you're in trouble for something, or if you did do something, politics is a risky game. There's a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
No politicians are going to be perfect. They've all probably gotten themselves into things, okay? And what I was told is it can be very, should I say, a dirty game of cards, so to speak, in politics. But you have to know how to play your deck of cards, and maybe if I don't really know what happened with his Medicaid, if there was Medicaid fraud or not, but I think he handled himself well if he did get into a jam. But I'm not, that doesn't concern me, because he came through what he promised me as a citizen of Florida, of what he would deliver. And he came through on his promises, and the state, the way I can see it, economically, it came up from being down. And I was wondering, look at all this job creation. My God, I'm like, he wasn't doing this. I was busy. My past, after he's been in office 2 years, I worked overtime. I was getting overtime on every paycheck. I was getting overtime because it was so busy at work now. The tourists were just flocking in, and they were staying, and they could afford to pay me, and I even got a raise. So I could not go against Rick, because he came through, and he actually made a surplus. And getting back to that again, when the media spun it to say that he was a criminal, I was a little bit upset about that, because aren't criminals supposed to take your money, not put it back? And Mr. Rick Scott, he, instead of taking your money, when he made this surplus, the money in the bank, he decided, how will I spend the money, okay, and give it back to the citizens of Florida? So he cut your vehicle registration fees by about, I don't know, 30–40%, so that when you went, which, Mr. Charlie Crest had raised your vehicle registration, he doubled your fees. So when you went to motor vehicles to do your registration, which used to cost me $36 and some change, was now costing me $89. So I wasn't happy about that. I didn't know what happened. And when Rick came along, he was like, that's just not right. He raised it and didn't put it back. He borrowed the money from motor vehicles and never gave that money back to the citizens. So what I'm going to do as your governor, I'm going to cut everybody a check, since we made that money in the bank, and you're all getting that money back. So that actually, I was like, now how is that a criminal? Criminals don't give money back, they keep it. So you got to pay attention to things before you go judging people. And another thing, he did sign the GI Bill, which very few states support our military. So now the military has a safe place that they can call home in Florida, where Mr. Scott takes care of his military. He was a retired Navy sergeant in the Navy.
I don't know if he was retired from the Navy, but I know he was in the Navy.
Yeah, so, I mean, you like who you like, but I was just very happy with
that. Was my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to influence anyone one way or the other. I just feel that that's what I think about the gentleman. I don't know him personally. If I had a chance to sit down and talk with him, I might change my mind. I probably would. One way or the other. I either be more pro for him or more pro against him. I mean, it just depends.
And here's another thing, too, you got to look at. Do you like everything your boss does? Do you agree with everything he said? I mean,
I've never done that.
Right. So, all in all, would you say your boss was an ass, or do you say your boss, okay, if I round it up, I love him, he's a good guy, but I don't agree with this, I don't that, and that. It's like a politician. You're going to find one, you may find, I didn't like that, and I didn't like that. Do I like the guy? Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I said, that was just my personal opinion. I'm not trying to sway anyone.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
but, it's all good. Everybody has, like I said, their own opinion. And all I'm saying is, that's the way I feel about him. I don't know the man personally. If I met him personally, I might change my mind.
Now, Charlie Chris was going to take more of that money. He was going to get more of that money out of your pocket.
Well, I wouldn't say, again, see, I'm going back to we have one choice or the other.
Right.
So what we get, maybe this time, is the lesser of two evils.
Well, that's what they were saying.
Hey guys,
Exactly.
Speaking of one choice or the other, let's talk about our 2016 election. Who do you think?
The president ought to be?
Yeah, what's your opinion on that? What do you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not. I haven't looked at the candidates that close to see who's running. I think that Mr. Bush, Jeb Bush, is going to be getting there for the Republicans.
Or what about Hillary?
Hillary, I don't think has got a snowball's chance. I think that Miss Hillary has got too much against her. I don't see her. She doesn't have the clout, and I don't think she can physically stand up to the stamina it needs to do the campaign and get the job done.
Well, and see, with Secretary of State, I don't really feel safe under her, to be honest with you, because being Secretary of State, hiding all those top secrets as her emails were addressed, and the thing about on Benghazi, it was a videotape when, honestly, we were attacked on 9/11 again, and nothing was done about it. It was swept under the carpet, and there's 4 reporters that are dead, and no justice has been served for our 4 embassy guys that are dead from Benghazi, and somebody thinks it's a movie. Oh, it's a videotape of who's Benghazi? I'm like, we were attacked, and it was swept under the carpet. And then she's taking money from foreign countries for campaign money already. So when it goes to the email accounts, who knows what was said secretly.
I know, and I just don't think she should be in there either. I don't think she has the...
And if you can't trust somebody that's a snake like that, I'm sorry, I can't, I need somebody that I can rely on.
I agree, and but I think we need to more than just have 1 or 2 candidates. We have the major parties, either Republican or Democrat.
And if you libertarian.
Well, but they don't have enough clout to do much. It's one or the other, because even the libertarians, they've got a candidate there, and they can make one of the other ones a little uncomfortable on their votes. They spend more money. They kind of rock the vote a little bit, but they're not strong enough to tip that vote over and stand up. We've elected a Republican or a Democrat forever. You've never seen a libertarian in there.
No, but under the candidates that are running, who would you feel that you you would feel safe with, that you could trust, you could put some trust in.
Again, I haven't studied the candidates, so I
Yeah.
really don't know, and I wouldn't want to make a statement tonight.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But that's something important to do, though, is to
Yeah,
look
we
at
need
the,
to look at
the panel.
look at them and see what they're doing, and what they're willing to do.
And for me, you know, I've been so into this thing ever since, you know, Obama became president. He's drugged me to this. It's like I've been like so like, oh, I got to do something because I've been so much on this. I was like, something's got to be done.
Well, then maybe that was your calling that you need to do that.
Yeah, and I looked at, I've already...
It got you involved in politics, so you can maybe make a change in the world.
And I opened up all my panel already, and I looked at all the people that are running, and you know what? I feel that there's probably 2 or 3 of them that, you know, not every single one of them can be president that you like, and to me, there's like 3 or 4 of them that I could say I like, but I'll probably hate to say goodbye to some of these candidates that are running, but only one of them can be president. So for me, it's like you got some of your good toys out, you know, but you have to put some of them. You don't want to put them away. You're like, oh, but I like this one.
Again, I think if we get some more different candidates in there, and you got a choice where you have more than just 1 or 2, maybe so they don't have all the backing, at least put them on the ballot whether they go out there or not. If they say they want to run for president, put their name on the ballot.
Well, wouldn't you agree that maybe the Republican Party needs to clean its act up and
I mean, they both do, not just the Republicans, Democrats.
Oh, Democrats are.
I mean,
don't even go there.
I personally think when the Constitution was written by our forefathers, I believe what they meant was, when you serve in Congress, you serve for the country, not for compensation. You do it because you want to do it for the country. You're not doing it because you want to be able to make a contact, or you're going to get paid from this guy over here to do something for him, and this guy over here is going to pay you to do something for him, and they're both fighting each other. We need to stop that.
Yeah, but you know, PAC money, it's a big thing, you know, because advertising, as you know, it's a big business. And since you got big corporations willing to support one or the other, you know, there's always hands in the cookie jar all the time. And this is on both sides. There's hands.
Absolutely.
And they're probably racing to those cookie jars because they need that PAC money. And they need that money.
That's why we need another, at least another party that's a little stronger, libertarians, to help compete with this.
That's kind of the fuel that actually we need that money for all of our advertising, or we wouldn't have any papers or stickers or anything to advertise with. We need that money somewhere.
Right. Okay. They're still going to get it because they do make fundraisers, but basically what we're doing is the guy who's got the most money can buy the presidency.
And
is that not right? Whoever puts in the most money in the pot for the advertising and whatever, he's the one who's going to get all the money.
Now, that's another topic. I'll talk about that one later. Later on the show, I'm going to have another guest on, and I want to talk about that topic because I feel that you know, there's big corporations, and I'm not saying that I'm not against corporations. I'm not against money. I'm not against being rich, because I think everybody should get rich if you can, but it's not an easy thing to do. Like I said, they are the fuel to the fire, and it gets dirty. You know, it's like it's your bank. You go to, you trust that bank is going to be there writing you out a check because they want something. They need something that, you know, it's big power. You know, they want something, and you're the governor, or you're the I don't know, whoever it is, you know, but they want something in return.
Okay.
So they got the big check. You need the money, and sometimes that's not good. Sometimes it is, and a lot of times it's not. So that's just something else I wanted to talk about later on. But how do you feel about your gun rights, though? Do you like you believe in we should have guns, or do you want controls on them?
I believe that we should be able to have a right to bear arms. We have a right to bear arms. That says right there in the Constitution.
Yeah.
Okay, and I believe that we should have the right to bear arms. I'm not so sure that with the right to bear arms should also include Uzis, totally fully automatic weapons.
But isn't there a problem? Isn't there a problem with that though? When you start letting government decide which ones you can have,
Government gets too involved in our personal lives to start with.
Wouldn't that just open the door for them to decide that maybe they don't like any guns if they start taking any of them, one bullet?
This is true.
Away.
But
and I agree with what you're saying, that some of these weapons are, maybe we don't need them, but I don't even think we use them anyway. They're out there. I think they're used for hunters hunting bear out in Alaska somewhere.
Maybe possible.
I mean, does your neighbor carry a Uzi next door? I mean, if he did, I mean, I don't think anybody's going to use that, or he'll be in prison.
Oh, I don't know, because see,
what are you going to do with that?
I had a guy who banished one that showed me an automatic weapon once because I told him his radio was too loud. He followed me for about 4 miles. I called the police and they said, well, we got some officers in the area. 4 miles down the road, I still haven't seen an officer yet. He turned off, went one direction. I gave him in the license plate, description of his car, and I never knew more about it. I don't know if they ever stopped him or not.
Yeah, they're not allowed to draw their weapon. I mean, but then again...
Well, they say they're not to, but I already had one pull a weapon on me for no reason.
Yeah, you're only supposed to draw your weapon when...
Not once, but twice, the same day. Same officer.
There's always going to be a problem with something, but...
Yeah, well, I have my personal opinion about the police department, something else too. I think they need to have some more training. First of all, they need to be a psychologist. They need to know what they're dealing with out there. They need to have at least a year of psychology in order to know what they're dealing with.
Yeah, some of the...
I think that's a requirement. They should have that as a requirement for training for an officer, is to have some sort of training in psychology so he knows what he's dealing with. We have people on the street right now who will look at you and say, I don't like the way you look, and you're doing something wrong, I just know it, and they'll shoot you.
You say, well, maybe you got a couple bad apples in the bunch, but I think there's a lot of good cops out there, though.
Oh, I agree, there's a bad... I'm not saying all cops are bad, don't get me wrong, not all cops are bad.
I've seen some...
But I've seen some of them that shouldn't be on the street. They should not be on the street because, first of all, they don't know how to talk to people, they don't know how to handle people. And because they put a badge on, they think they're right. Whether they are or not, they do believe they're right. Again, that's another subject we can talk about later, Ed. But
Well, we got to go to commercial break now, folks. So
That's
you're watching Possum Politics, and I think that's
the end of the show.
The end of my show. Jeez, we had so much fun.
yeah, we've got busy talking. We've got everything.
We'll have Santa Bob back, man. You guys give each other some love.
Santa Bob,
It's great talking with you. I appreciate your time.
I like having you on the show. That was great.
Thank you for letting me come in. Talk with
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Bye-bye
Bye-bye.
I'll keep my freedom, I'll keep my guns, try to keep my money and my religion too. Try to keep on working, try to keep on smiling. I will keep my Christian name and y'all can keep the change.